Hi everyone. So I did my presentation over anonymous behavior. This is created and will be presented by me, Alyssa Bach. So the focus on this presentation is on anonymous behavior on chat websites. So the questions I want to answer is, what do sociologists think of this? What behavior occurs? Why does this specific behavior occurs? And I'm hoping to answer these questions within this presentation, but also including possible uh, solutions to the problems that I will explain to you. So the three chat websites I'm going to be focused on is Omegle, Chat Roulette, and Chat Random. On the screen, you can see the three different logos for those. So why did I choose this topic? I chose this topic because I have personal experience with this, and I believe it's something that people don't ever talk about or really think about in the first place, and why these chat websites aren't the best thing to have. And I'm hoping to shed some light on this topic for you guys to maybe make you guys look into it too and say, oh, this is kind of bad. We should change like something. So why is this a social problem? So why are these chat websites a social problem? So the main issues are the trackers that people can get, like Omegle IP locator, and there's YouTube videos that are about finding people's location, and that right there is a big issue. The lack of control through these websites. Children go on it under the age 13 all the time. There is no verification of your true age. You just have to press two check marks and you're in, or maybe one. And people can track your location, your IP address. And before we move on, I'm going to show you two videos that I found that are a little bit disturbing to me. This is the first one, chat geolocation, location tracker for Omegle and Chat Roulette.
Love it there.
How do you know that?
I have my ways. Chat geolocation tracks the person's IP address in real time to identify their location. The address of the person is determined automatically.
So right there, that is terrifying. And then we have this one. This is a TikToker that does these YouTube videos for fun, thinking it's funny to get the reaction out of them. And this is what he does.
Hey, can I try to guess one of your names?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go for you in the middle.
Okay.
All right, if I guess your name right, though, you have to give me a follow on TikTok.
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your name, is it Angela?
No.
It's not? Actually, hold on 1 second. I gotta take this. I'll be right back.
You checked my name. Look, it's on the shirt. What the?
So as you can see there, he knew her name already. And later in that video, he actually said someone's address, but blurred it out and his name, and the kid freaked out. And if there are 200,000 users that are using Omegle IP locator, and there's that one guy who is doing it for fun, I personally don't think that the rest of the people who has this downloaded use it to help people. I think they use it for other things, especially if there's a big creator using it for fun. So I'm going to go through the background of the Omegle rules first, and just the background of Omegle. Of course, you can create new friends around the world using Omegle. You are paired with random strangers, and you must be 18 plus or 13 plus with parental permission to use. But once you're 18 and older, you do not have to have that permission. It claims on the site that the video is monitored and to keep it clean. I don't 100% agree with that. I don't think they monitor it, and I don't think it's clean. There is a parental protection you can put on it, But there are directions on the site to get that done. And also, Omegle says Omegle is not in charge of your actions. The next one we're going to talk about is the background of chat roulette and its rules. So you must be 18 and plus to use this chat site. No using vulgar language, teasing, being racist, degrading others' dignities, showing body parts, or partaking in any sexual actions on or with someone else while using chat roulette. You may complain about other users, but if you do so, please screenshot it so they can see who it is. And you cannot spam on the website for your own benefits, such as you can't promote anything, you can't try to gain votes, and you cannot conduct surveys on there. Now the background of chat random and the rules. So this one stood out to me the most because I did not know this until recent. I thought Omegle was bad, and then I saw chat random. Chat random is a chat website. You have to be 18 plus in order to use this. A free-for-all chat where anything goes. And this tweet is from 2013 from Chat Random's Twitter account. Tired of all the rules on Omegle and chat roulette? Try chatrandom.com and chat with thousands of random people using your webcam. That is not okay. And so before I move on, I'm going to focus on anonymous behavior explained so you guys understand what I am talking about when it comes to anonymous behavior. So anonymous behavior is communication on the internet, which is anonymous if you choose to be anonymous. Anonymity has 3 levels, which can be visual anonymity, dissociation of real and online identities, and lack of identifiability. Anonymity is known as masking of identifiable information on a wide spectrum between categories of identifiability and unidentifiability. And this whole topic, when it comes to anonymity, anonymous behavior, and going to the chat websites, there's very little attention and little information compared to that of actual social media like Instagram, TikTok. I saw so many articles over trolling and vulgar talk being unknown on social medias. But when it came to these chat websites and the anonymous behavior from other people on these chat websites, I barely could find any information that was at least scholarly. So we're going to look into the anonymous behaviors first. So there is a possible link between anonymity and abusive behavior, according to Philip Zimbardo of Stanford University. And people who are anonymous users tend to act rudely, aggressively, or illegally when their face and names are hidden. But there are positives when being unknown and using these, such as getting to know people's cultures, getting to know other people, getting out of your shell a little bit. There are good ways of using these sites, but a lot of the times they are not used in the correct ways. The darkness of the chat websites. The chat websites can be a dark place on the internet for any ages. I see kids of age 8 go on Omegle through TikTok videos. Okay, Omegle was my main concern talking about this until I came across Chat Random's rules. And that stood out to me greatly too, because Omegle can get very bad and Chat Random seems very harsh. So why was Omegle my main concern to begin with? Well, I'm going to tell you the story that happened back in high school. I actually went on Omegle one night because I saw a TikTok video saying, don't go on Omegle at night. You're going to see awful things. And so I was like, oh, I'm interested. I was a teenager, intrigued in, dark things, wanting to get to know things and see what was up. So I ended up going on Omegle and I was skipping through really fast. I had covered my screen like this, skipping through repeatedly because I didn't want anyone to track my address or seeing my face. And I was skipping through not super fast, but a little fast. I skipped to this one video and I saw probably 5 seconds of this before skipping through again because that's how long I was doing it for. And I had saw this little girl who was about 2 to 3 years old um, licking a man's penis. And it was obviously a grown man's penis. And he, like, this little girl had pigtails, red hair, brown eyes. Like, I still remember her face so vividly. And she was just like doing that. And I had skipped it and I started freaking out because I saw that. I was like, oh my God, like I could have said, stop that. Like, you need to stop. I could have done something if I wouldn't have been skipping so fast. And I ended up, every person that wasn't black screen and that were like girls or guys that I could see their face, I said, hey, like, you need to keep an eye out. You need to see if you can find this little girl. You guys need to keep an eye out. And if you do, you need to screenshot this profile. Like, and there's not even a profile. You just need to screenshot this little girl's face. Like, do anything because I don't know what to do. And a lot of people were just grossed out by it and didn't really care about the situation. Like I didn't, like I was crying talking about this to people. And so I decided to hop off there. And then I went and I did so much research trying to find like, like the email of the man who owns Omegle, any services I could contact for help for Omegle services. And at that time, I found nothing. Just recently, I had searched it up and there was stuff that you could contact now. But back then, it's just the fact that I could find nothing. I couldn't do anything. But, and I have that burden on my chest still sometimes. Like, is that stuff still happening to that little girl? Like, did someone do something about it? Or is she still doing the same thing that she was doing years ago? It would have been about 3 to 4 years ago now. And she would probably be like 6 or 7. And I'm just hoping that it's not happening anymore. And more darkness of it, their pornography is shown. I saw a lot of grown man's penises back in high school when I went on it too. People get taken advantage of, and people can find your location and much more. Who does it affect? I believe it affects everyone, but at the same time, I don't. Something that people don't typically talk about a lot. And I wish there was, people who would shed some light on this topic, especially sociologists who do have a degree, who do have a voice compared to a college student like me. Of course, I can try to find a voice, but it wouldn't go that far just because I do not pertain much power compared to other people who have higher power, are in hierarchy places than me. I personally think it does affect everyone because these younger generations who see and are being shown these awful things through these chat websites without any strict guidelines are going to affect their brain and their visualization on grown men, how they portray them, how they portray other people, and that's going to lead to stereotyping all over again, like we're already dealing with today. And I believe that there does need to be a change, and that's why I'm going to discuss some theories on possible changing. A lot of these theories could be solutions, but they also kind of reflect them at the same time. I will say this is a very difficult topic to talk about when it comes to the theories and solutions because it's as if these websites are using half of the solution and half of not solution. And I'm going to show you and explain how. So the theories I'm going to be talking about is the conflict theory, which is mainly about politics, money, lack of knowledge, lack of work ethic, lack of workers to pay attention to these sites. Functionalism theory and interactionalism, which needs improvement on this end. I first thought that interactionalism and social action theory were different, but they're actually the same. So those will be combined in one slide. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is a detailed explanation on the conflict theory. So what is a conflict theory? Well, it focuses on competition among groups within society, those with wealth, power, and try to hold on domination and power. And that's why I think there's so many of these chat websites that are created because they're dominating, like they're competing over each other. Like, oh, who's gonna have less rules? Who's gonna let more things slide? I want more users. I need more money. I need more money. I honestly think it all comes down to a political thing. Money, power, ownership. How does this conflict theory tie into anonymity behavior on socialized websites? Well, the owners of these websites definitely make millions. Millions use the website in the first place. The sites have not been taken down, even though there has been news about girls who were age 11 being taken advantage of on Omegle and much more. These sites still have not been taken down. I wish that they were held accountable for their safety. They aren't, and that's the conflict. They aren't held accountable for the safety of these children who are using these websites to talk to strangers. And the rules can easily be overturned. I believe that there aren't people that really pay attention to these videos as much as they claim they do. I think they say, "Oh well, it's not a big deal. I'm getting money, you're getting money. Let's shove it under the carpet," and just not think about it. So the next one is a detailed explanation on the functionalism theory. So the functionalism theory is that I believe that the website really does lack this. Functionalism also postulates that all cultural or social phenomena have a positive function and that are all indispensable. Functionalism theory is focused on all aspects of society, such as roles, norms, institutions, serve a purpose, and that are all indispensable for a long-term survival of society. I believe that these sites lack functionalism. I believe these sites could be great to connect with people across the world, but I also don't think there's no strict guidelines on what, like, people being kicked off, people paying attention to what's posted or not posted, but what is presented to them, especially if it's pornography. I feel like all those people who show pornography on these sites are not held accountable, and I believe we do not have any good laws set in stone when it comes to stuff like this, especially with technology booming. We need to change that. So we need to somehow shift it towards more of a law type thing when it comes to these rules, especially if child pornography is shown. Like, that's something that someone would definitely go to jail for. And it's something that needs to be changed on these websites. We need to have more people paying attention to these websites. I also think it does have some functionalism just because you can talk to people across the world, but it definitely lacks it at the same time, because what is the purpose of these chat websites if I go on it and I'm seeing genitals? What is what is the purpose of that? We have other websites that they can use, to show that, and other social media databases that they could show, but they chose this even though it's supposedly against the rules. The last theory or theories I'm going to talk about is a detailed explanation on interactionalism theory, or known as social action theory, which I believe this kind of reflects and shows what type of thing, what type of environment Omegle, Chat Roulette, and Chat Random we're trying to build on. Because interactionalism theory, first of all, is individuals, they learn about society through interactions through other people, and that society as a whole is created by a multitude of individual interactions. It's also a relationship between anonymity. Also, I'm going to look into the relationship between anonymity and the chat websites. I believe, there's parts of the creators that had goodness in their heart, thinking, I want to make this so people can talk to other people around the world about their cultures, religions, and get to know, the differences between the United States and Japan, United States and Canada, everywhere. And I think that it's really important that we do learn about that, but also, then you go to the relationship between the stranger to stranger conversations, interactions, and what people really do on those websites. And I kind of question myself, is it worth having these websites if we're not going to have strict guidelines? Is it really worth it? Because I know for a fact there are kids that will go on it just for fun because they see a TikTok over it. And a lot of kids, they are definitely under the age of 13 who are on TikTok who don't get banned, who don't get in trouble when you're supposed to be 13 and older. And I believe all apps are lacking discipline in users. They are wanting all the users they can get for more money at the end of the day in their pocket. And to me, that's the biggest issue. And I wish sociologists would really look into depth on the whole entire aspect of social media, everything, because I see these rules saying, well, you have to be 13 and older. It's like, reminds you of card games or inappropriate games like GTA, for an example. GTA, you actually have to be an actual age to even purchase. I believe it's 17 to purchase GTA. But then you can go on Omegle and be under the age 13 and see sexual actions, but human bodies, not even animated. And it just makes me so surprised that there's barely any information on these, any websites, any talking websites, other than trolling. And trolling, everybody knows what trolling is. It's people talking down on each other on social media. Trolls are called people call people trolls for spamming and stuff like that. There's trolling, but then there's the dark side of social media. There's the darkness of these chat websites that I wish sociologists would literally look into depth, because I'm hoping that you guys got some type of information out of this and kind of understood what I was trying to get at when it comes to those theories and comes to the darkness of the websites and how things need to be changed, because I had spent hours to find research on this, at least scholarly research, and I barely found anything. And it even said in an article that sociologists pay little to no attention to this. And so I just wanted to say thank you guys for listening to my presentation. If you guys have any questions, drop down in the thing. I hope to answer it all. I hope it wasn't too long. I know I can be like really ranting and emotional when it comes to this topic, but it is something that I hope in the future sociologists do look into so we can find more information and be more strict in the future. These are my references down below. And thank you guys. Thanks for watching.